Hey everyone, this is Bo from the Mario server. I'm here to do a video on the newly released event called the Chocolatier Romance event. Now this event is pretty easy to do, so let's go ahead and cover it. If you guys go to the Mabinogi website, you'll see the webpage on this event, and it is a decently long event, so you don't have to worry about missing a few days here and there. If you guys do this event, you only need to do this for 10 days, and after that it's like, you can just do it if you want to for more rewards. Now the biggest reward I'm eyeing here is this mini gem character here. It is called I believe the Strawberry Bonbon mini gem, and there's also a baby version where it's like little tiny versions of it. And there's also a secondary title called the Chocolatier title that you can receive for doing this event for 8 days, which is 8 recipes basically. And it's very easy. It's a very easy event. You have to do the cooking dungeon. Now to get started, you have to talk to Chocolatier in Dunbarton, and she's right in front of the unicorn statue. You just talk to her and she's gonna be like, you want to do this as your main character? And you're gonna be like, yeah, I want to do this as my main character and ready to cook some stuff for you. Apparently she's gonna have you choose either a love recipe or a hate recipe, and you have to do both of them 5 times in order to get each mini gem. So once you've chosen, your main character for this event, you're gonna see a few more quests pop up. Don't worry about it. I mean, you guys probably won't see progress actually on the quest because you have to talk to Chocolatier to see the progress in your quest. So once you've done that, this is where you will choose either the love recipe or the hate recipe. Again, it doesn't really matter which one you choose, but you do have to do 5 of them each if you want to get both mini gems. Once you've chosen your recipe, you'll see the passes show up in your inventory as well as a wing going straight to Wrathroyal Castle. Wrathroyal Castle is located right here in Tara, the lag city town that you guys hate entering, but you'll have to absolutely do it. A really tricky way to avoid all this loading thing is I suggest you guys to have a warp imp in the actual kitchen place here, and then just bring some wings with you so you can warp back to Dunbarton to return your quest. So here is the kitchen. It's in Wrathroyal Castle, and in order to enter the cooking dungeon, you have to talk or click. You can't really talk to a pot, right? You have to click on the cooking pot and have the recipe pass in your inventory. Once you enter the dungeon, just click on info to see what the recipe is, and that's how many enemies you have to kill. It'll say beat it with a fork within 5 minutes, and that basically means the elapsed time has to be within 5 minutes. Anything more than that will actually deduct your points. Now you guys will notice that if you go into this dungeon and you fight things, they're not going to take much damage at all, no matter what you do. So what you have to do is actually fight these like chocolate fondue sticks. They'll take damage from you, and they'll drop this your own, I guess, chocolate fondue stick that you can pick up and attack the enemies with. This will lower the protection of these enemies, which allows you to do damage to them. So that's what you're going to need. You can constantly fight them with the stick, or attack them once with the stick, and then use your own weapons to fight. It's up to you how you guys want to kill them, but ideally you want to kill them in the center of the pot. Anything outside the pot will not count in the recipe, so if you do have to kill things out of the pot just to get other things to spawn, feel free to do so. You don't have to worry about rats in this dungeon, so it's not like the other cooking dungeon, the normal cooking dungeon. There are no rats that spawn in this dungeon. So if you guys want to kill things without fear that a rat will spawn, go ahead, do it. And once you've done or at least tried your best to kill as many enemies as close to the recipe or as exact or even more, hit that fork at 5 minutes, and then it'll show you the points that you'll receive, and you'll also get a reward at the end. If you've done the recipe pretty darn close, you guys should be able to get a box reward at the end, as well as a random totem. The totem that you guys can get is either a Frosty Goodbye, which gives you max damage, or a Shy Confession that gives you max HP. Now, some techniques to do this dungeon obviously is Hydra. Since there are no rats in this dungeon, you guys can Hydra away and not worry about losing points. The only downside to this is that if you guys do Hydra, you might overkill in the amount of enemies you need to kill. But that's not even a big problem because I had overkilled at one point and it was just fine. Another technique you guys can do is bash, and since bash just kills enemies like, like right in the center and doesn't splash them everywhere, then it's perfect. You can also bash with a stick that drops in this dungeon, so you don't have to waste your ability on your own weapons. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Another thing you guys can do is also use Divine Link on your pet, so that way all the enemies in that dungeon aggro's your pet and not on you. Now once you guys are done and you hit the fork, please keep in mind that there are 3 different boxes you guys can get in this dungeon. Now the best reward obviously is called the Fancy Box, and it is I believe it's like, if you get 100% or maybe 90, I'm not sure actually what the point margin is. Just know that if your tasting rank is really high, you get a bonus points of 15, so you don't have to worry too much about failed points there. Now, for the Fancy Box, in terms of the difference between the Fancy Box and the other boxes, I honestly cannot say what it is, except for the fact that you guys probably can get more rewards in the Fancy Box. Rewards like these stick thingies that I'm holding. But in my opinion, I feel like it's also a higher chance of getting the homestead items. But that's just, my theory, my thought. I can't confirm it. The next box that you guys can get, if you guys get like around 60-ish points, is the plain box. And again, can't really confirm what the difference is in the boxes. Probably lower rewards, less rewards, I mean. And that is all it is. You still get a totem, so, that's what's important. Now, the worst box you guys can get, if you guys get like 15, or I don't even know how people would get this box, but you'd have to purposely fail. And that is called the mediocre box, and it does not come with a totem, so keep that in mind. It also probably has less rewards, and also the points that you guys get for this dungeon doesn't affect the stats on the totems. The stats are going to be completely random. I got a 2 and a 22 at one point with the same score, so it doesn't really matter. Now, this dungeon actually requires effort, so you can't go in the dungeon and, not do anything and hit the fork at 5 minutes. You actually have to kill a certain amount of enemies just to be able to complete the dungeon. Now, I know some of you guys are wondering, what kind of rewards can you get from this event? So, first things first, homestead stuff. Yay! No, they take up so much space. But that is what they are. These are some of the homestead items that you guys can get. Lots of chocolate-related sweet stuff, and they take up 3 by 3 spaces in your homestead. Another thing that you guys can get are these awesome chocolate fondue sticks. It's kind of hard to see on my character because my character's so tiny. I'm so sorry about that. But that is one thing that you guys can get. They're not really strong weapons. They're just for lols. Another thing you can get is food. Yay, food. Keep them, eat them, turn them into catering dishes, whatever you like to do, but that's what you guys can get. Food, yes. And that is pretty much it in terms of rewards. Now, don't forget to turn in your quest to Chocolatier after you've done your first dungeon, so that way she can give you this golden experience fruit, as well as 1 count in your progress list here. You gotta do this quest 8 times for the title, and 5 times for each recipe type for the mini gem. And that is basically the event, guys. Hopefully my video was very helpful for you guys. Feel free to leave some comments below if I forgot anything. And like always, guys, stay awesome!